All right, we're recording. So I am wildly excited today. I was just telling Debbie beforehand, this is probably the highlight of my week. We have on the line Debbie Blyth. She is the former CISO for the great state of Colorado. Um, Everybody wants to move there, so we all know it's the great state, right? And currently she is a strategist for public sector at CrowdStrike, which is also near and dear to my heart because some of my favorite people work at CrowdStrike in New York. That's like a quiet shout out to them. Um, and so here we are today. We're going to do our usual random personal question to get to know her just a little bit better.
Okay, I'm excited.
All right. Oh, this is a great one. What are your favorite hobbies or activities outside of work?
Oh my goodness. So that's a little bit of a hard, well, it has been a hard question. Because of course, when COVID happened, the world shut down and I really had no hobbies or life outside of work. So I started I have always been a reader, read a lot of books, but started tracking the, books that I read each year, and it was over 100 books each year. And I just like to read all kinds of books. So, I mean, it's fiction, it's nonfiction, it's just everything. But recently I had a friend who said, hey, I've been doing this rowing workout where we go to a place, it's called the Row House, and that's all they do there is they have all these stationary rowing machines, but you row as a team with a coach up in front who's hollering out, that we're going to go faster, we're going to go slower, we're going to add power. And so now I am rowing like 3 to 4 times a week and just absolutely loving it. And then that same friend of mine said to me, how do you feel about fly fishing? And I was like, well, it's something I did with my husband one time a couple years ago that we always thought we'd do more of and just haven't. And she goes, there's this Colorado Women's Fly Fishers organization that I just joined. Do you want to join it with me? And so I just joined that. I haven't fished yet, but I went and found my husband's mother's rod and put it all together. And
Wow.
I bought myself some waders and some boots, and I'm like accumulating the supplies, and I'm going to take a couple of classes on casting. And I am just super excited. So those are two brand new things that I'm trying out this year that I think are going to be lifelong fun hobbies for me.
That's
Not what I expected.
so fun.
I bet
Great question.
I bet fly fishing is going to be great because you get to be out in nature without getting too aggressive into it either. And it's
Yeah.
must be super calming, right? No?
Yeah, so I would go with my husband sometimes and he would fish and I would just sit on the bank and read or take pictures or whatever. And I mean, it was intriguing, but it does require a lot of supplies. And so it's not something that you just go, hey, I want to fish too, and walk out there with him. You've got to have the boots and the waders and all the equipment. And so, yeah, it just looks like such a calming, you're in nature, you're enjoying yourself. And if you're not in the right spot, or you're not liking where you're at, or you're not successful where you're at, you can get up and move. So it's not like a lifelong commitment to that single location for that whole day or whatever. So I am just super excited to try it.
Good
That's
for you.
incredible. Yeah, I think about like my hobbies, I spin, I like to cycle. So
Yeah.
similar to
Yeah.
rowing, which is a full-on workout rowing is. And I tried out a new class a couple of weeks ago and it was spin, it was strength and yoga all in one. I'm like, wow, what is this? And what I found and what I learned was what I didn't like to do, and that was going from like super high heart rate to low. But sometimes like learning what you don't want to do and what you're not going to focus on is sometimes even more beneficial. So I'm sticking to what I'm doing, but I got to
Great.
try something new. You're inspiring me.
You
Very
bet.
cool. Well, before we stop the recording, one more question.
Okay.
What are you reading right now?
Yeah.
If you can
Oh,
remember.
I just started a new book, so I'm reading a little bit of fiction. I'm reading a Sue Grafton book, which is, she does A is for alibi, B is for, I don't know, burglar or something like that. She does this whole alphabet series that's sort of, I don't know, solving a mystery action. It's a good series. And so what I do is when I'm sort of in between books and I don't really know what to read, I go, okay, where did I leave off? And I pick up the new one.
Great. Well, thanks for spending some time with us and sharing a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this has been fun.
Yep. Bye.